What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitz Bits. I'm your host, Ryan, or KG. I'm joined with my best friend, Truman, or Trumu, or True Shiesty, whatever you want to call him. The man with the glasses, Walter White's cousin. How you doing?
All right. What's been going on? I haven't been keeping up with it.
Okay, so number one, let's start off with some rule changes. So the owners in the NFL went and they conversed and they discussed a few topics, and all of them voted in favor to drop, or rather to enforce, the hip drop tackle. So for those unaware, the hip drop tackle is when a player comes up from behind, grabs them by the hips, drops down, and pulls their legs and tries to purposefully injure them. So this is a pretty split opinion in the NFL world right now, whether or not it's legal, whether it's purposeful, yada, yada. This is my personal opinion on it before we get into the semantics of it. These NFL players, they have been controlling their body down to 0.00001% of a second. That's what got them to the NFL in the first place. And there's a lot of clips for these hip drop tackles that show that they are being purposefully malicious. Aiden Hutchinson tackling Dak twice doing a hip drop tackle. Looked like he was purposely trying to injure Dak. Tony Pollard against the 49ers. Obviously, Dak against the Giants, Logan Ryan, hip drop tackle, Dak broke his leg. Mark Andrews, hip drop tackle, sprained Mark Andrews' leg or fractured his leg. This penalty is going to be a 15-yard personal foul and an automatic first down. So that's going to be the penalty. It says it's defined as a defender grabbing the runner and unweighting himself to trap the runner's legs at or below the knee. Truman, your thoughts?
I think it's a really dumb rule to start saying that you can't do it. Because honestly, I think it's going to be not only hard to enforce, but it's really just another rule that helps the offense. It's just another defensive hindrance that's taking that away from the game. Because that's like one of the only ways you can make that tackle. I mean, maybe in like the high school level, maybe in college, you could, drop down and give them a swipe at their ankle and maybe they trip. But these NFL athletes are so good at what they do that that's not going to work. That's the only way you can make that tackle. And I don't even think that it's trying to injure them. Like, yeah, the injury risk is probably higher for that type of tackle, but that's just part of the game. I mean, it's a physical game. You're going to have injuries. You can't make injuries not happen. They're always going to happen.
That's true, but let me show you this right here. This is from the Cowboys subreddit. Person behind the screen says, Hutchinson hip drops Dak twice. So here's the clips that I was talking about against Dak. So this is what a hip drop tackle is for those unaware. This is what's going to be outlawed. So he drops him, pulls him down, goes like that. That's not a big deal. That wasn't a flag, whatever. I don't even think the refs would call that a flag. But then this one is where it gets really nasty. Grabs Dak. You can see Dak is turning right. Hutchinson has him at his torso. Pulls him down. Dak's knee gets all twisted up and tangled. And Hutchinson's still grabbing and pulling and yanking and twisting. That right there. That could have easily been a torn ACL. Simply all this man had to do was just push him forward. He didn't have to hip drop him.
If he wasn't getting held, he would have been able to do it.
I mean, he's pushing forward. Terrence Steele is just ass. Let's see here. Highlight Hill posted this. Oh my God. All right, well, we'll get back to that whenever that ad's over. I don't know. I think here's the deal. I like the rule, but refs suck. So that's my only problem, is that refs are so bad that that's the only thing that worries me, is that. But then again, if we've been having to watch Derek Carr underthrow deep balls and get defensive pass interference penalties for his entire career, and that not be taken away from Derek Carr, I would much rather protect the players and have some shitty calls. Be like, oh, no. than Derek Carr just underthrow the deep ball every single game and get some 50-yard completion because of the defensive pass interference call. It finally loaded. So blah, blah, blah. Is this the one? Yeah, right there. Wait. Yeah, that's correct. I show it in replay. Here it is right here. Hip drop, swings his legs out, puts his weight into him. Tony Pollard breaks his leg. And then the Mark Andrew one is
but how else? Like, look at it though. How else is he supposed to make that tackle? Tony Pollard's a fast guy, and he's already behind him. That is the only way he could have made that play.
But look at him though. Put his whole body weight into Tony Pollard's legs. Purposefully. That's purposefully. Because these guys are getting. Yes, it is. Because these guys are paid
and falling down. That's all he's doing. He's wrapping up and falling down. That is literally it. That is not.
These guys are paid by their body. They're paid on how quick they can make reactions.
No.
He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
That's the only way you can make that play. There's nothing else that he could have done. He could have tried to swipe at Tony Pollard's leg. But I guarantee you, Tony Pollard ran hurdles in high school. He's just going to recover and score a touchdown.
So
whenever somebody is running,
you would rather have
their legs happens to be behind the other one when they're running. So he only landed on one of his legs because it was behind his body.
So if you're chasing after somebody and you get your hands on them, your immediate thought is to go and to rotate, drop, swing them back onto you, pull their knees out, rather than be like, because he's already got his hands on him. He has his hands on him. He's pushing through. And look at that. Just keep pulling forward. But now he's pulling backwards, pulling back, dislocated ankle, broken ankle, whatever.
What are you saying he's pulling back? He literally just fell down. He's not pulling at all.
Swinging him down right here.
That was literally just him falling.
I don't think
he
that
grabbed
defenders should be penalized for taking a bad angle, A. B, defenders should be penalized for not making proper tackles.
That is a proper tackle. It's the hip drop tackle. That's how they teach that.
Which is crap. Teaching how to injure players, that's crap. If the refs were better, if the refs were better, I think this would be unanimous, because that right there is just crap. A player's career is not in jeopardy, rather, but like a player is done for the rest of the year because of one play. Bless you.
Did I get the mute off in time?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm a goat.
Here's a conversation I had with Cash. He said, my buddy Cash Smith, shout out to Cash if you're watching this. He says, the hip drop tackle rule is BS. Players are going to get scared to tackle because they're going to get 15 yards for it. I said, no, it's a good rule. He said, might as well have them play touch at this point. Even the players were against it. I said, no, bro, the rule is fine. Tackle with good technique. No reason for players to be injured because of a guy missing their tackle and coming from behind. He says, but so often these tackles are caused by defensive linemen coming from behind, and it doesn't have to do with the lineman missing his tackle. He may have had his gap plugged and the running back bounced it outside or to the second level. I just feel like it's going to be infuriating season as far as calls that are going to have both players and fans losing their mind. I said, well, as long as you don't try and crash your legs into another player's, i.e. Aiden Hutchinson against Dak, Logan Ryan against Dak, the San Fran linebacker against Dak. It wasn't a linebacker, it was Travarius Ward, but Tony Pollard rather, not Dak. Then you shouldn't have a problem. And then here was what I quoted earlier from Not to Be Tried on Twitter. Shout out to him. He's a goat. He says, my stance on hip drop tackles is you feel a certain type of way about it if your star player has been impacted by it or even close enough to where it made you hold your breath. Trapping a dude's legs underneath you and continuing to crank back once on the ground is malicious. Bang, bang moment, yada, yada. Nah, these are top 0.001% athletes controlling their body down to the millisecond. It's what got them to the NFL. You can feel the legs under you because he's on the ground already. Continuing to crank back on that is intent to injure. Simple. And then Sam Monson said the biggest issue with the hip drop thing is there's nobody on this app that that has confidence in the NFL officiating to correctly identify and call it. This is what
Okay, anyone that thinks that you can control your body entirely through the entirety of a tackle is straight up wrong and has
They're
never
not.
played football.
They're not. They're not.
You're saying that you can control your body to the
I am
millisecond? That's straight up wrong. If you were chasing after God, okay, let's say I'm Fred Warner and I have to run after Tony Pollard. I know for a fact that that guy is faster than me. And where I'm standing right now versus where he is right now, I'm going to have a bad angle. So I need to find, out of all of my skills that I've ever learned in my career, a way to get a tackle on a guy that is in front of me, which is the hip drop tackle. And I've looked at it over here. This is from the Washington Post. It says 230 hip drop tackles happened in the league last season. And of those 230, 15 resulted in an injury. That is 6.5%. Why did we need to change that? It's a pointless rule. There was literally no reason to change it. The only thing it does is once again take away something that the defense had.
It's 6.5% are broken bones.
This is just taking away from the defense. It's taking an already offensive league and making it even more offensive. And not to mention that for the people that think that the league is rigged, which personally I think is kind of dumb, but for the people that do think that, it's just
didn't you say that though on one of our last podcasts? You said that you thought it was rigged, and then I told you that you were wrong, and you said shut up.
I don't know. Some of them games are a little suspicious, but for the most part, I don't think it's rigged. At least it's not rigged, and the people say it's rigged.
Well, Fred Warner got to the league by controlling his body down to the millisecond. That's why he's a top-tier athlete.
No, he didn't.
Making that one extra tackle.
He got to the league by instincts and aggression, which is what the hit drop tackle is.
And athletic ability, and fast twitch muscle fibers, and genetics, and instincts, like you just said.
Instincts and aggression. And you're not gonna, whenever an instinct happens, you just do it. You're not thinking, okay, now I'm gonna go put my shoulder into him, and then I'm gonna grab him up, and then I'm gonna drive my feet. No. He just knows how to do it. It's hardwired.
I'm going to give you an example. So whenever I'm playing flag football and a guy's talking trash to me and he goes up for a jump ball and I purposefully shove my forearm into him because he pissed me off. That wasn't an accident.
I bet he drops the pass.
He does, but the example that you're making is wrong. No, the example you're making is wrong. These are angry dudes out there getting hit for an hour. So your analogy is wrong because I'm pissed off and I'm trying to hurt this guy. I was trying to hurt.
You are trying to hurt the guy across from you every play. There's not a single play in football where I didn't hate the guy across from you.
And that's the whole point of getting rid of this penalty. Is because if you want to hurt someone,
if a guy puts his hand in my chest and I put my hand right here and I break his arm like that, that's just what happened. It's just what happened.
Right. No, that I completely understand.
It's an aggressive game. People are going to get injured. The way you do things is going to hurt. The day that football stops hurting is the day that I won't watch it anymore.
It's not going to stop hurting because Fred Warner can still blow up Tony Pollard in the A-gap, smoke him, but with proper tackling technique so that neither of them are injured. Because if Fred Warner keeps his crown out of the play, which is also a penalty, which I'm sure people in the 70s were freaking out about whenever they made that illegal, you tackle with proper technique, and Tony Pollard doesn't smack him in the helmet, or Fred Warner doesn't grab him by the face mask, and they both get to smack each other and have some fun. Plain and simple.
Tackle is part of the game, and it's a shame that they're taking it out.
Okay, but also you have to remember that there was only 230 hip drop tackles out of 16 games times 32. Times there's like 100 plays a game on each side. So 200 times whatever 16 times 32 is. So out of all of those plays, 230 hip drop tackles were made. So that shouldn't be a big deal. 230 out of the thousands of plays that were made by every team. That's not terrible. I could live with that. One penalty a game or whatever that is for a hip drop tackle. Cool. Whatever. If that means that Dak Prescott's not going to get injured CJ Stroud isn't going to get injured. Cool. All right.
It's just taking another tool out of the
these
bag.
these are top
You have
tier
a toolkit,
athletes.
and you have things that you need to do. You have things you need to get built.
These are
And
top tier athletes
you're
that just
taking
have to
the
play by
drill.
the rules.
You're taking the drill out of the toolkit. Now you've got a hammer and nails, and everything you build has got to be with nails. You can no longer use screws. That's just how it's going to be.
Well, that's wrong because there's only 230 hip drop tackles. It'd be you
It's an
remove the
analogy.
stapler.
It's not meant to be exact.
Well, you'd remove the stapler then out of your toolkit.
Who the fuck has a stapler in their toolkit?
I'm just saying that's about how useful it is. Because out of all of the tackles made,
No, it's a
230.
very specialized tackle. It is made specifically for a purpose.
So there was only 230 times that someone tackled someone from behind.
That's what the Washington Post says.
No, that's not a hip drop tackle. The hip drop tackle and tackling someone from behind are different. Excuse me. These are, in my honest opinion, these guys are so unbelievably athletic, just incredibly athletic. And they just have to play by the rules. That's it. No biggie. No sweat off your back.
They were playing by the rules.
They were, and now it's a different rule. When was Jack Tatum not allowed to paralyze people anymore? I'm sure that people got in a frenzy about that. Yeah, you do. The guy who played for the Raiders, number 32, like 5'9", Jack Tatum, he paralyzed the dude on the field.
Oh, because he was a dog.
Yeah, he played in the 70s. But whenever people were like, actually, you can't do that. Or Night Train Lane, whenever he'd go up and clothesline people, turns out you can't do that anymore. That's just how the game evolves. Oh, you know what? That doesn't look very good. It puts our players at a high risk of injury. Let's just eliminate that.
Okay, well, why don't we start flagging quarterbacks for throwing hospital balls? Instead of ejecting defensive players for making a good hit on a receiver, let's eject the quarterback for throwing a ball that got the receiver killed. How about that?
They eject players for making a good hit on receivers?
Yeah, they ejected Kareem Jackson a couple of times, I think. They ejected that one guy from the Steelers. The quarterback threw a ball into a place it should have never been thrown, and they got the receiver killed. That's what happened. And then the defensive player got ejected for it.
Whoa.
Now, I'll admit that they were leading with the crown of their helmet, and they should have gotten ejected. But if you want to do it for player safety, eject the quarterbacks for throwing hospital balls. Or give them a fine or something. Maybe they'll learn to stop throwing it into contested areas.
Well, that's an argument for a different day. I don't agree or disagree with you on that. But moving on, there's another new NFL rule that was voted on by the NFL owners and GMs and all that. I'm not sure if it's GMs or owners. I'm going to have to look that up after this.
I think it's just the owners.
I would think so too, but I'm not sure because you know how they are. New NFL kickoff rules. Kickoffs are set at the 35-yard line. This is going to be mimicking the XFL and their rule system. This is another thing to keep players safe because there's not going to be high velocity impacts anymore. So kickoffs are set at the 35-yard line with the kicking teams remaining 10 players at the opposing team's 40-yard line. The receiving team must have at least 7 players set up in the setup zone, or must have at least 7 players in the setup zone between their 35 and 30-yard lines with a maximum of 2 returners in the landing zone. Rules include scenarios for kickoffs that go in, blah, 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 blah. The brass tacks of it is this. The kicking team lines up at the opposing team's 40 with the specific setup and landing zones. Kickoffs must be returned if they land in the landing zone. So from what I've read is you kick off. If it goes into the end zone, if you get a touchback, the offense is going to get the ball at the 35. If it lands and stops from the 20 to the 0 or the 20 to the 1, you get it at the 20 or the 25.
No, if it bounces inside the 20 to the goal line and then goes out, it's still 20. It just has to hit inside.
Well, I think there's a landing zone that it has to land in. If it doesn't land there, then it's a penalty.
It's the 20 to the goal line. So if it doesn't make it to the 20, it goes to the 45. And if it goes out of the end zone and never touches the 20 to the goal line, it's the 35. But if it touches inside the the 20, the red zone,
Mm-hmm.
and then bounces out, then it's to the 20. And if the returner catches the ball inside the red zone, so from the 20 to the goal line, they have to return it.
Yep. I don't mind that. And
So the only thing I don't like about this rule is the way that they changed the onside kicks. So
yeah, now
the
you have to
onside
declare,
kicks are
and you
the
can only
same,
do it.
but you have to declare. That's
No,
dumb.
it's not the
That's one of the
same.
most exciting plays in football. You will, once we change this rule, you will forever lose the which Super Bowl was that? It was the Saints versus the Colts, where they opened, is the one that Drew Brees won. It was the one where they started the second half with the onside kick. You lose that moment. That will never happen again because you have to declare.
Yeah, I think they did change the rules on the onside kick too. I think they made it harder.
Yeah.
Not only do they have to declare, but I'm pretty sure that you have to set it up the same way, and it has to land.
The kick is basically the same, but it's just you have to declare.
Well, and now it's set up weird. Let's see. I want to see an XFL kickoff. Here it is. All right. So for the viewers unaware, this is posted by Corked Bats. Thank you, Corked Bats, for posting this. This is how it's going to look, NFL guys. An example. So the main point, the NFL said that this was less lethal than them starting back here and running at each other from over here. Which, I mean, fair enough, I guess. Less high velocity impacts. Also, you cannot run until it has been dropped in to the 20 through goal line or caught by the return man. So I think that's pretty interesting as well.
No, I thought it was when the ball was kicked.
What?
I thought it was when the ball was kicked.
You cannot move until it's caught or dropped into the landing zone. So that'll be interesting. That'd be really interesting. I kind of like it. I mean, obviously, rules can get taken back. Also, I think the reason why they're changing these rules so drastically is because apparently I saw an article that said that they're concerned about offensive scoring per game. This year it was 36.5 points, and last year it was 40.5 points per game on average. So they're worried about offensive scoring, and they're trying to make sure that stays. But I think that's kind of weird because to me, a close game is better than a high offensive scoring game. It's more interesting.
If you're worried about the offenses scoring too many points, you shouldn't be banning defensive plays.
No. They're not scoring enough points.
How is 40 points a game not enough points?
I don't think you heard me. They scored 36.5 this year, and they scored 40.5 last year.
Is that per game, like both teams?
I believe so.
I don't know. That may be a little different. I was thinking like they're saying teams scored an average of 30 points a game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm excited for this year. I love foosball. Foosball is awesome. Okay, real quick, changing subjects here, kind of moving on, skedaddling. New Houston Texans uniform. So I always like a good new uniform. Okay, I'm not sentimental. I don't give a fuck about uniforms. I want things to change. I like change. I think change is good. I think change is healthy. We should all strive for change. If you're in the same spot you were a year ago, not in a general sense, but I feel like I'm in the same spot I was a year ago, then you need to change. Change is good. Change is healthy. So the new uniforms for the Texans were leaked. Here's what they look like. Let me change this a little bit. It's all messed up. We're getting on the share screen a lot here today. Posted by Cal McNair on Reddit/Texans. Leaked pic. How about a real photo of Nico and Tank? Way more to come in April. So here's the leaked photo of the Texans' new uniforms. And I believe this is the only photo, if I'm correct. Let me check.
Yeah, I've seen some I've seen some concepts made based off of this for what the battle red and the home uniforms will look like.
So what are you thinking? Current or new? Obviously, ignore the drip. The drip is whack. But what are you thinking?
Honestly, I really prefer the current. I get what you said about embracing the change and all that, but really my biggest critique on these right here is I'm a huge fan of the red number on the white jerseys. I love the red number. I was looking at these jerseys and I was trying to figure out what I didn't like about it. And whenever it finally clicked in my head that we didn't have the red number, they're trying to make us go black and white. But I love the red in the Texans uniform. It's a really unique color of red.
I'm interested to see what the new battle red will look like. I'm very interested in that because I
sent you a post
on
Twitter. Oh wait,
okay.
I sent you a post on Twitter, and this is a concept that somebody made based on those other ones, the leaked ones.
All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, I like this. I really like this. Do you like this?
See, like these are good. So you see how on the navy jersey they've got the red number, and then battle red has never had red numbers. I don't think they've always had the blue numbers.
They have white numbers.
It's like
white numbers, yeah.
In the battle red right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on my screen. I'll show it real quick.
Roasted. So I'm getting burned at the stake by the Texans fans. I don't know what numbers we have.
I like these.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the red number. And those other ones not having red numbers on the white jersey, it's nasty to me.
I really like this. I really like these home jerseys. I like the way that they embrace the long. Is it a longhorn? What is it?
It's just a bullhorn. Yeah.
I really like that. I think that's really sick. I don't think they're doing too much either. They keep the same general color scheme. Like the color palette is the same. I really like it. I don't really think there's anything else they could have done, truthfully.
I mean, the Texans uniform is really basic.
Yeah. I mean,
the only thing they did is change the vertical stripe on the shoulder into a horn.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think Toro is a longhorn.
Okay.
I think he is.
Well, and they also changed the collar. The collar is no longer a blue collar or a navy collar. That's going to be different. And I think the sides of the pants are different. I think that they have a horn going on them now.
I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot that they could do. I always felt like the Texans were one of those teams that, like, if they tried to make another jersey, I'm not sure what they would really do.
Yeah. I mean, I would just maybe update the logo. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, that's the only thing I would do.
The NFL needs to strip the rights of the Oilers from Tennessee because they don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it. I think they're thinking about rebranding too, apparently.
And honestly, I think it was JJ Watt that said it, but I agree with the fact that the teams play twice a year. And how about whenever those teams play each other, the person who won the last contest wears the uniform, and the people that win the contest get the rights to the uniform until they're beaten by the other team.
I feel like
that's already a rivalry in the NFL. Right? It's not, though. It's not too much to keep up with because 1 week, oh, the Texans can wear it, and then the Texans beat the Titans. Now the Titans get it.
Well, but then you're watching a football game and then it says the Titans, and you're like, oh, what team is that again? Is that the Titans or is that the Texans? Oh, that's Stroud. Okay. I feel like that'd just be too much to keep up with. Or maybe they can have their own spin on it.
Maybe for the casuals. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Other NFL nudes. Nudes. I'm just going to flash a photo of just nudes. Yeah. Other NFL news. So there's a rugby player who signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know why in my notes I did not write down his name. I apologize. Give me a quick second. I completely am drawing a blank on his name. Here it is.
It says
Lewis.
Luis Rees-Zammit.
He is a rugby player. This is coming from NFLTradeRumors.co. The Kansas City Chiefs are signing rugby star Lewis Rees-Zammit, according to Jordan Schultz. Schultz adds that Rees-Zammit will be playing running back and wide receiver. He visited the Broncos, Browns, Packers, Chiefs, and Jets before ultimately signing with the Chiefs. He's 23, a native of Penarth, Wales. He attended Hartpury College before joining the Gloucester's Rugby Academy and broke into the senior team in 2018, making him the youngest player to ever compete in a premiership. So that's pretty cool. I mean, apparently he was pretty good. I think he ran like a 4.540 or something like that. There's a clip of him. Damn. I mean, I'm not sure how tall he is. I'm not sure how much he weighs, but apparently the reason why they're signing him is because of this new kickoff. 6'3"? Holy shit.
6'3". Can you imagine 6'3", 210 running at you at a 4.4 speed?
That's insane. Damn. Well, we do know that.
He's a cutie patootie too. Look at him.
Well, we do know what 6'3", 240 is running right at you. 250 running right at you is actually 4'3", 6'3", 240. And he goes by a certain name.
Overrated. Garbage. Don't like him.
Dak?
Oh, I thought you were referring to Derrick Henry.
Micah Parsons.
Overrated. Don't like him.
I actually got a topic on that, believe it or not. I mean, I don't know. I like it's part of the International Pathway Program, so it's these players from different countries that enjoy football or want to try out for football. They can come play. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's nice. I think the NFL needs to rebrand. I think they need to really try to get international teams set up. I think that should be a focus going forward. Instead of trying to be like baseball and make all these new different rules that everybody hates and everybody's saying is ruining the game, focus on bringing the game to other areas. And I know that's what they're trying to do with like the games being played in London and Germany and Mexico.
City. Mm-hmm.
But we just need to bite the bullet and get some teams set up in other places.
Right.
We need to set up a satellite league in some other country. Or maybe a couple of teams in Europe. Europe is close enough together. And especially with the EU, how you don't need to have passports and stuff like that. It can be really easy to do in the EU. Could
you imagine being the freaking Nigerian... Ooh, I almost said the Nigerian Bulls or something. The Nigerian Bulls. And just like being like a $10 million player out there, and then you just have like some Nigerian guys who are like, I am from Nigeria. I really need money, please, sir.
If anything, like, I don't think that they should. The NFL should never, like the Houston Texans should never play the Nottingham fucked up teeths. But if anything, I think it should be kind of like
the Nottingham fucked up teeths.
The United States team, the NFL, plays NFL teams until we get to, the Super Bowl or whatever. And we take the Super Bowl.
You know what? That would not be a bad idea.
So we take the Super Bowl championship team and we take the top team for whatever we name it in the EUFL. We take the top team from there and then we can clash. So think about it. If we have, let's say, instead of the NFL, we change it to the NAFL, so the North American Football League. So you've got Canada, United States, Mexico. And if you want to, you can include Central America with South America. And so then you have the SAFL, which is South America. And then you've got seven people. So the top team gets a bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got tournament style from there, like the playoffs. So it'd be like North America, South America. Let's say EU did really good. So they get a bye. So North America, South America. Then you've got, well, I guess, no, you couldn't do 7 because Antarctica doesn't have any people on it. But
you really think about it, Antarctic penguins, and you're just like, you go play, and your ball just freezes in the air. You're like, oh.
Okay, but actually that works out better because now you can get 2 buys. So you've got 2 teams playing each
buys.
other and then 2 buys.
My favorite type of
And
threesome.
then they play each other and then
Yeah, that's my favorite type of threesome. 2 buys where they play each other.
Yeah, so you've got the
I want you to
NAFL,
think about that
SAFL,
I want you to think about what I
AUFL,
just said for a minute. Marinate.
AFL,
Breathe.
AUFL.
Breathe. Set. You have your Apple Watch on you?
No, I took it off already.
Okay, I want you to put it back on and do the breathe setting, and I want you to meditate about what I just said.
2
I'm not good enough
buys because I don't have any pants on.
2
And,
bisexuals, 2 buys
Yeah, I get it.
playing each other.
Yeah, I
While
get
I'm
it.
in the background like this.
We're talking about football right now. We're not talking about buys.
Ooh,
Unless we're talking about letting women into the football league, which
no,
I would be open to.
No,
just because I want to see a woman get absolutely rocked, so I can stop hearing people say that women would be able to do it.
Women can play. No, you think that a 5'5" Karen can tackle Derrick Henry? In your fucking dreams, woman.
Maybe if she had the hip drop tackle, but we'll never know now.
Well, no, there's no way. Unless she's a 500-pound female with more fast.
We'll never know. We'll never know. We'll never know. Your least favorite tackle got banned. We'll never know.
Your least favorite tackle got banned? Good. I'm happy. I'm content with that. Well, I just want you to know that unless she was built like 3 of us plus 1 Derrick Henry, she's not tackling Derrick Henry.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty big built women.
Yeah, they're only big because they can manhandle a chimichanga. They're not big because they can manhandle Derrick Henry or play 16 games of the most violent sport in the world. I've seen big women too. All right. Listen,
I don't mean big like big. I mean big like big.
Let me put it to you like this. I'm not naming any names, but my ex-girlfriend, her mom was about 6 foot, 400 pounds. All right, Miss Terry, I know you're out there
400 pounds is insane. I'm talking like.
All right, now listen, Miss Terry, I know you're out there watching this. I hope your gastric bypass surgery went well. But damn, she might be able to tackle Derrick Henry because she's cornbread fed. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, she'll probably get stiff armed, like Heisman Trophy her ass, but she will try.
Josh Norman.
Could you imagine a woman getting up
in Derrick Henry's face and snatching
his? Could you imagine a woman getting Derrick Henry's face and snatching his chain?
Dude, I want to watch that clip right now.
If a woman fights, they would just start pulling Derrick Henry's turd dread. Josh Norman.
Yeah, Josh Norman, stiff arm. I want to watch him get fucking thrown.
Well, you know Dak stiff armed Josh Norman too, and he did the same shit.
Oh my god! So awesome.
This poor individual. Here it is. All right, we are not watching ads. Guys, do not watch this. Guys, don't look. Don't look at this.
Censor it in post.
I will. He said, "Mink."
Oh my god! Get out my way, little boy. Good lord.
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude.
Jesus.
Oh, dude. Here's Dak doing it. Here's Dak stiff arming. Oh, that's not Josh Norman. Hold on, wait. There's one. There's a really funny one. Here it is. Oh, that's the thumbnail. See if we can skim through this. Lucky Highlights posted this. It was against the Commanders. I mean, the Redskins. Dang, they've gotten to me.
Are the Commanders rebranding to the Redskins?
I hope so.
Because I remember hearing some talk a while back about after Dan Snyder left, that the new guy that bought it was gonna rebrand it back to the Redskins.
I don't know. Okay, why is that on the title, but nowhere in this is there a stiff arm of the thing that I'm trying to find?
So this right here is a Native American group is suing. It's the Native American Guardians Association. Have started a lawsuit against the Commanders to change their name back to the Redskins.
Found it. Found it. You ready, Truman?
Yeah.
Here's Dak Prescott stiff arming Josh Norman. Thank you, Lucky Highlights, for this post. I got it in slow motion, by the way. Dak's not that slow. Fuck you, Josh Norman. I remember watching that game too. That's whenever that's the year after I first started watching football. Is that Vladimir Putin?
This is Vladimir Putin.
Hi-ho!
She's getting a little aggressive.
Hey, speaking of Dak Prescott, see, you like that transition? Dak Prescott and the Cowboys extension is another note that I have. So the Cowboys and Dak have been going through this weird situation where neither of them really want to fully commit. They're kind of like your side piece, right? Your side piece really wants to get with you, but you're just not really feeling them, okay? So, and that's not true to me. Avery, please don't get mad at me. I promise. Damn, I just lost my train of thought now because I just realized what I just said. But it's kind of like your side piece, all right? You don't really want a full commitment, but your side piece wants a commitment. Now, I don't know why the Cowboys wouldn't want a full commitment with Dak Prescott. All these Cowboys fans are absolutely retarded. Truman, as a Texans fan, you will know. I mean, you only had to go through like 2 years of it, but finding a quarterback is difficult, okay? Finding a quarterback is difficult. Nobody thought C.J. Stroud was going to be any good. Everyone thought Bryce Young was going to be great. Everyone thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be great. Everybody thought Carson Wentz was going to be great. Everybody thought Jared Goff and Johnny Manziel and Paxton Lynch. Not Cam Newton. Who was the guy that was taken after Cam Newton?
Wasn't Paxton Lynch taken after Cam Newton?
I don't know. But I think it was in the 2014 draft because Paxton Lynch. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. But finding a quarterback is difficult. And these guys just want to do all this stuff, but they're not. If they can't handle losing in the playoffs, they're not going to be able to handle going 13-14. Okay?
Nothing I see says that got an extension. It says that they agreed to have him play through 2026.
So no. So this is what I was getting to. So a report came out that said that the Cowboys are not going to be extending Dak. Then Jory Epstein, who's connected with the Cowboys, said that right now there is no immediate rush on getting an extension done, but there will be an extension done around free agents training camp this year. Because the agreement you're talking about came out from Ian Rappaport, I believe, and that's been proven false.
I'm seeing it on CBS and Fox Sports.
Does it say via? Ian Rappaport?
No, these are all 12 or more hours ago.
Okay.
But honestly, Dak is 30, and if his contract is to play through 2026, I think
it's next year is his last year. This year is his last year, I mean.
Okay, well, I think you go through the first 8 games, and you see what you're looking like. If you're liking Dak, you let him play it out. If not, trade him week 8. Try to get one of them.
But why? Why would you do that? Why? That's the thing. I don't get it. I don't get why people want to trade a second in MVP voting, first team or second team AP player that has done nothing wrong. Like, he plays well. Anybody that's connected to the organization says he's great. Anybody that's not connected to the organization, i.e. these guys I read in the comment section all the time, and I'm begging you, if you're watching this, stop commenting because you're making yourself look like an idiot. Any advanced analytic proves you wrong. You need to stop. I'm always for discussion, but I will not have Dak slander. There's a difference between going like, you know what, I want to rebuild. I want to put all the chips in the table. I want to get all these draft picks. Cool. Sign me up. I like playing Madden too. But I will not tolerate Dak slander. And that's the deal. Okay.
I mean, honestly,
who's to say that Dak plays without a new deal? Because he did that in 2020 and broke his leg.
Most people want to see a different quarterback in Dallas is because of results. You can be a good stat player all you want, but if you don't get to that ship, man, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Dak has had some stacked teams in the past. And there have been some years when, you know, as annoying as Cowboys fans are saying that it's their year, I really thought they had a good chance. And then they just couldn't get it done. And whenever you just can't get it done like that, the quarterback is always going to be the one to blame.
But that's not realistic. And that's the thing that I have a problem with, is that the quarterback is the easy scapegoat for the problem, but he's not the problem. Out of all of the problems on the team, like last year, for example, that was our best chance to get to a Super Bowl. Out of all of the problems on the team, the offensive line by committee, the receiver by committee outside of CD, the running back by committee. Tony Pollard was not fresh until like week 15. The defensive line by committee. They have a defensive tackle by committee. The linebacker by committee. Out of all of these problems that you have, the coaching staff, Mike McCarthy running slant routes at home.
Yeah,
whenever
I was
he's been
going to
undefeated.
say, we'll never really know if getting rid of Dak will help until Mike McCarthy's out of there. The dude is horrible. Like actual butthole. I could run a team better than he could.
I just have a problem with the notion that whenever there's a problem or you lose a game, it's the quarterback's fault. For about a week after the Green Bay Packers game, I was like, damn, Dak sucks. And then I bit my tongue, and I didn't want to, but I have NFL Game Pass or whatever the hell it's called, and I watched the tape. That was not Dak's fault at all. I would show you the tape if this video wouldn't get taken down right now, because I don't care who you are, if you're not experienced with football, if you like football. If you go watch that tape and you say, that was Dak's fault. Like, up until the second quarter, you can't even be like, oh, that was Dak's fault. And then in the second quarter, the defense allowed like 39 points. So that is where I was like, okay, I'm still on the ship because this is crap. And also all of these guys that I respect on Twitter, Mike White, Vosh Lombardi, Jeff Kavanaugh, all these guys that I respect and that know ball, watch the tape before they make an asinine comment, are all like, it's not his fault. Go watch the tape. I'm like, all right, I did it. And what do you know? The tape don't lie. Numbers can lie. Numbers can be deceiving. But the tape doesn't lie. How would he get your job
I'm just waiting for the guy that got robbed of MVP this season to get it next year. And of course,
CJ Stroud does well.
CJ Stroud.
Truman, can I tell you something funny? If CJ Stroud was on the Cowboys, nobody would like him at all.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody.
Absolutely. It's the Cowboys effect. Whoever's on the Cowboys will be hated.
And that's the crappy thing. The only guy on the Cowboys that anybody likes is Micah, and it's just because he's literally Lawrence Taylor in a bottle.
There's a point where you become so dominant that no one can even argue. It's like Aaron Donald, which, speaking of Aaron Donald, sad that he retired.
Yeah.
He's had so many more years left in the tank, but I get it. He's just ready to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Man, it just aggravates me, dude. I could talk about this topic for hours and hours and hours and hours. I do all the time with my buddies. And they're like, let me see Trey Lance. Trey Lance couldn't even beat Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy. Why do you think Trey Lance is going to beat a MVP caliber quarterback? He's not.
I've heard some people say that they think that Trey Lance is going to be the replacement. They're going to try to see what he can do, which I don't think is a super bad idea, but that is, of course, assuming, he's competent.
Trey Lance is 23. He's young. Quarterbacks don't enter their prime on average via the stats from 29 to 35. Those are their best years of their career because they've absorbed. So
that's a little inflated because Tom Brady played till he was 97, but
No, into their prime. Quarterbacks have their best year at what age?
There's no way. Kirk Cousins is 35. You think Kirk Cousins is playing his best ball ever?
Yes. Not ever, but he's
outside of him having literally the best receiver in recent memory.
No, that's not an inflated number. That's
literally the only quarterbacks that I can think of that were actually good past 30 is Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, debatable, and that's it. Kirk Cousins is pretty good, but
this is quarterbacks that have had their best year at what age? Like that's what it's going about. It's saying these quarterbacks have their best years from this age to that age, or this age to that age. So like Aaron Rodgers didn't start until I think he was 27. So I don't know. Maybe Trey Lance will end up being really good, and I hope so. Like if I'm the Cowboys, and man, Dak Prescott's just really pissing me off, and I think he's the problem. You know what I'm going to go do, motherfucker? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trade him. I'm going to tell him, hey man, we're trading you. We're trading you. Plain and simple. Waive your no trade clause. We'll let you pick wherever you want to go. All right, cool. You picked there, cool. Got a couple first round picks, maybe a couple, one first and a couple seconds. Cool, whatever. I'm going to go draft the most like a Jaden Daniels, if I can even get up that high. Give me Jaden Daniels, and now I have Jaden Daniels and Trey Lance. Or actually, pardon me, sir, my bad. Now, let's say that I can't even get up that high. Let me draft Joe Milton in the second round, okay? Fast, strong arm. And what does Joe Milton lack? Accuracy, decision-making, footwork, okay? But he's athletic as hell. Now you have two uber athletic players, Trey Lance and Joe Milton, tall, strong, beefy, can throw 70 yards on their knees, can run a 4.4, but they lack the mental part of the game. Now let them go battle it out. Whoever's better, go let them start.
I mean, there's a reason that at this point in their career, they don't have the mental part of the game. As much as they say you can't teach athleticism, you can't replace raw understanding. Some of those guys, they just get it. And if you don't get it, you just don't get it.
Yeah, that's true. But a guy like Aaron Rodgers coming out, they let him sit behind. Well, actually, let me use a better example. Mahomes.
Okay, yeah, because Aaron Rodgers had, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I'm pretty sure Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame, correct?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well,
but
let's just say he is. He sat behind a Hall of Fame quarterback for 4 or 5 years. I hope to God if you sat behind a Hall of Famer for that long that you would get it. And not to mention, didn't he go to Stanford or something? No, he went to Cal.
So that's what I'm saying in that aspect. But Mahomes, if they started Mahomes right away, he would have been terrible, and I don't even think Mahomes would be good today because it ruins your confidence bad. But if you sit and you absorb and you learn and you process, then you get better. And so I just say go take some young athletic dudes and make them young boys come. Them young boys coming. That's what I think. If you really are trying to get rid of Dak. And you know what, Truman? You know what? If it doesn't work out, Joe Milton and Trey Lance both suck. Who cares? Because you don't have a quarterback, and no quarterback that you get unless you strike a Mahomes is going to be better than Dak. Okay? So plain and simple, if you really want to get rid of them, have fun. Like, go have some fun. That's what I think. Just go get a boatload of picks. Go get you a rookie. Go have fun. Who cares? I don't care. At that point, if you're just going to get rid of Dak, I just say, all right, go get me the most uber athletic man you can find and let him sit. Or, well, I mean, I guess that's what Trey Lance is doing now, technically, but I don't know.
You see, Trey Lance is your replacement. They're doing exactly what you want with Trey Lance.
I just don't like that idea because that's just so trash.
They're doing exactly what you want.
No, not what I want. That's not what I want. That's the only feasible thing that could even possibly come out of that. But 1 year behind Dak is not going to be enough. It's got to be multiple years. But that's just so whack, dude. The thought of Trey Lance out there slinging the rock scares me. Like, that actually terrifies me.
I don't know,
because
dude.
he had the greatest offensive mind ever as an offensive coordinator.
You talking about the Shan Man?
Yeah, the Shan Man, the greatest offensive coordinator that's ever walked the earth as his OC and head coach. The quarterback whisperer who makes Brock Purdy looks like a $60 million a year quarterback. And Lance was out here throwing interceptions. So that's what makes me go.
Well, Brock Purdy is not bad. He might be a little overrated, but he's not a bad quarterback.
Kyle Shanahan made Bonky G look like an MVP player.
Who?
Jimmy G. Bonky G.
No. They got to the Super Bowl, but none of that was Jimmy G. And when push came to shove, he choked.
Bonky G made plays, and it's because of Kyle Shanahan. And for those unaware, the reason why we call him Bonky G is because the wheels on the bus go bonk, bonk, bonk. He is just all along for the ride. He is a bus driver. He makes no plays. He's not a game changer. I sound like Cam Newton right now. He's a game manager. Okay, final thing.
Well, he's got the same Super Bowl as Cam Newton, so I don't know. You can't call somebody a game manager if you choked in the one Super Bowl you appeared in.
I thought Cam did win a Super Bowl.
I have almost zero respect for Cam Newton. He did go, but it was whenever it's that clip of him not diving for the fumble.
I thought that they beat the. I thought
the Broncos won that.
I'm thinking of the Seahawks versus the Broncos, right? Where the first play of the game was an overhead snap over Peyton Manning's head for a touchdown.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Or a safety or whatever. Okay, last talking point for this episode. There has been a unknown head coach in the NFL. It is somebody from the Cowboys organization. Jerry Jones, because it's contract season. They say whenever the team is up and the games are flowing, Micah Parsons looks like a Hall of Famer. Whenever they're down, Micah Parsons is nowhere to be found. Therefore, Micah Parsons sucks. Claims about Micah Parsons' performance improving when the Cowboys are leading suggest patterns where Parsons' impact is more pronounced in favorable game situations. This observation may point to his role in leveraging the team's momentum for defensive dominance. So, duh. Period. End of my statement.
What, you think he just gives up?
No.
You can't just say duh.
Well, whenever you say, hey, you know what the team...
Are you saying, like, whenever they get down in a game, or are you just saying that he's nowhere to be found when they're losing?
I'm talking about whenever
games that they're
blowing out, whenever they're blowing out teams and the momentum is on their side, and you've got Jaron Kearse out there looking like a decent safety, of course Micah Parsons is going to kill it. But, I mean, everybody knows how to stop 11 is to run at him. So, whenever you're down...
I mean, if you're just saying in games that the Cowboys lost, he's nowhere to be found, obviously, duh. That's just, he's an impact player. If he's not making an impact, they're not going to win. That's literally any player.
I agree.
But if you're saying that, like, he is in a game and then they start losing and then he disappears, that could be something to be concerned about.
That's not what it is. It's like whenever the Cowboys get down, they run at him and they double team him in the run. Not much you can do against that in the run game, that is. So, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Everybody knows that, though, that watches the Cowboys or watches film. Like, he's the best pass rusher at football. No one said he's the best run stopper at football. So, I mean, I think it's just kind of like a duh. Whenever you're down, what do? They run the ball. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have any comments about it. I mean, this isn't like groundbreaking news. Oh no, a pass rusher whenever they're down doesn't make plays. Really? But you're telling me that whenever a team is up, the quarterback doesn't make 30 touchdowns? Loser. Get him out of here.
I don't know. I feel like Cowboys fans also have such violent shifts in their opinion because they play such a violent shift in quality of opponent. I mean, obviously, Micah Parsons is going to look like a literal god whenever you've got him coming at this third year, barely a starter out of bumfuck nowhere. Obviously, he's going to destroy him. But whenever you go up against somebody good, like, I don't know, who's a good Tristan Wirfs. You put him up against Tristan Wirfs or Laramie Tunsil. He may do good, but some plays he's going to get his ass worked. And when you're so used to him beating up on the Commanders and the Giants and teams like that, whenever he does play an Eagles or, you know, some team that has somebody that they can put on him, obviously he's going to do worse.
And the thing to me isn't even that he does worse. It's just that, like, the only offensive lineman that's given Micah problems is Trent Williams. That's the only guy that I can think of where after every play they would show a replay and Micah got worked. That's the only guy I can think of. But then again, he's Trent Williams. How much I hate that guy doesn't matter. He's still a great football player. So, I mean, that's the only guy I can think of that really put in work against Micah in recent memory. Maybe there's like some other guy, but I mean, he worked the right tackle, Lane Johnson, who hadn't allowed a sack in like X amount of games, and he worked him in that blowout against the Eagles at home last year. I mean, I can't really think of anybody, like any premier offensive tackles that we played that, I mean, yeah, the Dolphins don't have a crazy offensive line. Karen Armstead, maybe. Micah worked them. I don't know. I don't think there's really anything else to say about that. Truman, you got anything you want to add?
Who do we think Clown of the Week is? My first thought goes to the captain of the Dolly that hit that bridge in Maryland. But maybe that's a little too soon, considering they don't even know if all the people are alive yet.
Well, they're definitely dead. It's been 2 days in 40-degree water. I think they're dead.
So what I've heard is that they actually did signal, emergency, that they lost control. And majority of the people on the bridge got off, but there was a construction crew that didn't, and there's 6 presumed dead. That's what I've heard.
Well, I watched the video, and they lost power like 3 times, and people were still going over the bridge like it was normal traffic.
So what I was hearing was that they lost power, and then a diesel backup generator kicked on, and all the electronics came back on, but the engines did not. So they had no way to, steer away. And I know that the government and the CIA has said that it is not a terror attack. So there's that.
Well, that's always good news. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Here it is. Okay. So for those that are watching, if you are squeamish towards not natural disasters, man-made disasters that cost human lives, please look away.
Also, if you're living under a rock.
So they lost power there.
So the power goes out, and then what I was told was that the backup generator comes on, and that's that puff of smoke. That's the diesel backup generator that kicks on.
And then it turns back off, and then obviously it's too late. But look, people are still going across it. And the power goes back off, and then it was too late. They get it back on one more time. And then then it's too late.
There's not many people up there. Never mind.
So it's very sad. Thoughts and prayers are out to them. That's awful.
Yeah.
Happened like 1 in the morning.
So I guess they don't get Clown of the Week.
No, we're not giving the ship captain because he did not do anything wrong. His ship just malfunctioned. I think we should give my vote for Clown of the Week is Chud Logic. And if you need to be updated on that, let me know. I will tell you.
I don't know who that is.
Chud Logic watched Dark Viper AU's video about why reaction content is bad and reacted to it.
Well, first of all, I'd give him Clown of the Week just because his name's fucking Chud.
Yeah.
That's such a dumb name.
That's terrible. He clowned on Dark Viper. He watched Dark Viper AU's video about why reaction content is bad, which I agree with, and I think everybody would agree with if they watch it. And then he just sat there and called him an autistic freak for 30 minutes. And Dark Viper AU DMCA'd the video not because Chud was making fun of him, but because he reacted to his content of a video that said, if you react to my content, I will DMCA you, and here's why react content is bad. So then Chud went on this crazy roll where he was calling him like an autistic freak that has turbo AIDS. Turbo, what do you say? Gay turbo AIDS? Is what he said. There's a photo of Dark Viper AU getting his sleep apnea test, and he's connected to all these wires, and they posted it, and they said Dark Viper AU just got diagnosed with gay turbo AIDS. Oh, dude, it's so funny.
Just looking at this dude. Yeah.
Are you looking at him right now?
He looks like a Chud, yeah.
Yeah, and he's British.
Oh, that's even worse. Dude, honestly, right now I could give Clown of the Week to any British person.
I'm hankering for a Clown of the Week. I'm hankering. We haven't done a Clown of the Week in a while, but hold on.
It's been a while since we've been back. I know you did one with Ashton without me.
Yeah, I forgot what you were doing. What were you doing?
I don't even remember.
What's his name?
But it's been a while though. What has it been, a month? Maybe a month and a half since we've done one.
It has been a long time, and I'm gonna try to find this real quick. Here it is.
Let's see. I see 1 month.
Wait, one. Oh, and since the last time we did one of these?
Yeah.
It has been a minute, my friend. Dude, I'm trying to find this. This is going to be so funny. I'm scrolling through Chud Logic's Instagram feed, and it's honestly just cringe. It's just like 4chan virgin cesspool memes. It's like bad. It's just, this guy's a faggot. Or like, here's this one, and it just says wait, what was it? It's just like, oh, I missed it. Never mind. But I'm not gonna hang up on it. I gotta find where he says that Dark Viper AU has gay turbo AIDS. That cracked me up. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So, Dark Viper AU is a notorious like meme because of his 14 pages. He was talking about his 14-page meticulously written out React content document, and so someone said, breaking news, YouTuber Dark Viper AU is the first man to be diagnosed with gay turbo AIDS. We asked him for a comment on the situation. Dark Viper's comment: I'm on 14 AIDS medications. Okay, so here it is. Very sad to hear that Dark Viper AU is currently undergoing tests for gay turbo AIDS. Despite his failed attempts to take my channel down with copyright strikes, I'm an honorable man and wish him well. It's a difficult life.
All right, this is our last order of business. I can go ahead and give him a honk.
Chud Logic, you are a loser. I'm going to react to one of your YouTube videos and post it on purpose. And my reaction is just going to be this.
Clown of the Week, Chud Logic.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what we've been waiting for. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, we're back! We're back, baby!
a podcast maybe once or twice a week, depending on how we feel.
At least once a month, we can guarantee that.
At least once a year for sure. This is our yearly upload. Next time you see me,
if you're checking this one
blue
out,
hair and an LGBTQ flag tatted on my back.
if you're checking this one out and you liked any part of it and you made it to the end, go check out the channel. We've got another video uploaded, Helldivers video. If you want a little preview, you can also go to the shorts section. It's up there too. If you think it's funny, check out the rest of the video.
I don't think it's illegal for me to react to my own video. So hopefully Chud Logic doesn't say that I have gay turbo AIDS.
POV reacting.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you ready? This video was hilarious. Average React content streamer. That actually made me laugh from hearing the Riz sound. This video is awesome. Go watch it. Go watch it. Go give me some support. And also go watch my other video, For Democracy. It only got 22 views for some reason, even though these podcasts literally crank out hundreds. So that's bullcrap. That's not fair. Okay. I put a lot of work into that video. I literally just sit down and talk about things that interest me on this one. That's not fair. Is it, Truman?
I think it's completely fair.
Better watch your mouth.
But it doesn't matter to me because all I have to do is be there and play video games. So it doesn't really matter to me.
Shout out to Burt's Bees for producing a banging lip balm.
Dude, I got my freaking Burt's Bees over there. It's like right there, right off camera.
Is this? Do you have lip balm too?
Yeah, mine's mine's peaches and cream. It's really good.
Mine's vitamin E flavored.
You think you can hear me chug this water bottle?
Sure. This is like whenever Badland chugs, takes a straw and sucks up the whole ocean.
I've had this water bottle and this water bottle sitting on my desk for probably about a week, and I haven't been drinking them. So
I missed Kobe. Bro, smoking that reefer. Is that one of those icebreakers that you left on your counter?
Gotta smoke one of those. Gotta smoke that razor sticker pack.
Oh, I'm gonna smoke that chip clip pack.
Dude, I wanted Subway today. After I got off work, and I forgot Subway closes at 8. I got off work at 8.
Bro, I was I woke up from my nap and I was just hanging around and I was like, dang, you know what would sound really good right now? Some Panda Express. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Panda. Panda closes at 9. All around me are familiar faces.
I did get some cinnamon raisin bread before I left the store, though.
Cinnamon
put that in a toaster. I'll put that in a toaster. I'm gonna take a bite of it. I'm gonna test it out, see if I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, I'll put a little bit of honey on it. Put a little bit of honey on it.
Put a little honey on it.
Put a little honey on it.
Well, I wish you the best in that endeavor, Truman.
Put a little honey on it. Everything better with a little honey.
I agree. Everything is in fact better with a little honey.
Put a little honey on it. Do you eat your chicken nuggets with honey?
Do I eat my chicken nuggets with honey?
Do you eat any chicken with honey?
If it's hot chicken.
I sometimes I go to McDonald's and I'll pick honey as my sauce when I get my nuggets.
Really?
Yeah.
When you get your nugs. Wait, you can get honey at McDonald's?
This is really
Color me.
weird, and
Color me surprised.
should leave all of this in.
What?
Just all of it. It's just a bunch of random nothing.
I will leave all of this in. I'm not going to edit this once, except for that one time where it took me 20 minutes to find gay turbo aids.
Facts. Guys, prove that you really watched the video. Comment fat milky tits along with your McDonald's order in the comments to prove that you really watched it.
I
All the
like
way
this.
through.
This is fun. Ow. Alrighty, guys. Clown of the week goes to Chud Logic. I love y'all. Make sure you stay subscribed, stay tuned, stay creaming, stay coming. Welcome to Blitz and Bits. I was your host, Ryan. That's your best friend, True Moo. You dap me up. That's my guy. I love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for letting me have this platform to speak on. If you guys think that we're retarded and we don't know what we're talking about, that's fine because we don't. We like to have a good time, though. So take care, guys. Peace.